Right now, somewhere in your chest, a low hum of worry is running in the background. Maybe it's about a message you haven't sent. Maybe it's about money or a deadline or nothing you can even name. You call it anxiety. You think it's broken. But the real answer is far stranger. That feeling is not a malfunction. It is a machine, and it is 300,000 years old. Your body was not built for emails. It was not built for traffic or notifications or awkward silences in meetings. It was built for a savanna. It was built for a world where the wrong decision meant a predator's jaws, not a bad performance review. And yet the system running underneath your modern life is the exact same system your ancestors used to survive lions. Think about the last time your heart raced before a presentation. Your palms went damp. Your thoughts sped up. Your stomach tightened. None of that is random. Every single piece of it has a purpose, inherited from people who lived and died by how fast their bodies could react to danger. The neuroscientist Joseph LeDoux spent decades mapping exactly where fear lives in the brain. He found that a small almond-shaped structure called the amygdala can trigger a full-body alarm before the thinking part of your brain even understands what's happening. Sound decoded. Amygdala just means the brain's early warning system, wired directly into your senses. It reacts first. It explains later. That means your anxiety is not you failing to think clearly. It is your brain succeeding at its oldest job, protecting you before you even have time to reason. Here is where it gets strange. For most of human history, threats were physical, immediate, and short. A rustle in the grass, a stranger from a rival group. Once the threat passed, the alarm switched off. Your ancestors could run, fight, freeze, or hide, and then return to calm. The system was built with an off switch, but your modern threats rarely end. A conflict with a coworker doesn't resolve in 10 seconds. A financial worry doesn't disappear once you've fled it. The threat lingers, sometimes for weeks. And your ancient alarm system, the one built for a 10-second sprint, was never designed to run for 10 weeks straight. This is the mismatch. Your body is using a Stone Age alarm for a modern age world, and when an alarm never gets to switch off, it starts to cost you. The biologist Robert Sapolsky studied this exact problem in East Africa, watching wild baboons for decades. He noticed something surprising. Baboons living in unstable, high-stress social hierarchies developed chronically elevated stress hormones, the same hormones that spike in anxious humans. Their bodies, like ours, were reacting to a modern kind of stress, prolonged social tension, using an ancient tool designed for a lion in the grass. Sapolsky's conclusion was blunt. Zebras don't get ulcers because their stress ends when the lion is gone. Humans get ulcers because our stress rarely ends at all. So if your alarm system is ancient, why does it still exist? Why hasn't evolution simply removed it? Because it worked. It still works. The evolutionary psychiatrist Randolph Nesse spent his career studying exactly this question. He argued that anxiety, in the right dose, is not a disorder. It's a smoke detector. A smoke detector that goes off too often is annoying, but a smoke detector that never goes off will let your house burn down. Nesse's research suggested our alarm system is calibrated to overreact slightly, because in evolutionary terms, a false alarm costs you a moment of discomfort. A missed real threat could cost you your life. Your ancestors who worried a little too much were the ones who survived to pass down their genes. The calm ones, the ones who didn't flinch at rustling grass, were more likely to become dinner. You are quite literally descended from the anxious ones. That reframes everything, doesn't it? The racing heart before a job interview, the spiraling thoughts at 2 in the morning, the tight chest before you speak up in a group. None of it is proof that something is wrong with you. It's proof that your body is doing exactly what kept your ancestors alive for hundreds of thousands of years. But here's the twist inside the twist. The system wasn't just built to react to danger. It was built to react to social danger specifically, because for most of human history, being cast out of your group was as deadly as being eaten by a predator. Alone, on the open savanna, without a group's protection, food, or warmth, an isolated human had almost no chance of survival. So your brain evolved to treat social rejection with the same intensity as physical danger. This is why a harsh text message can trigger the same bodily alarm as a near car accident. This is why public speaking consistently ranks as one of people's greatest fears, even above death. Standing in front of a crowd isn't dangerous in the modern sense, but to a 300,000-year-old brain, being watched and potentially judged by a group looks exactly like the ancient risk of being rejected by your tribe. And rejection, back then, meant death. Your anxious brain isn't afraid of the audience. It's afraid of being left behind. Once you see it this way, the shame starts to loosen. You're not weak for feeling anxious. You are running the same ancient software that every single human before you has run, the software that got your entire bloodline here. What's changed isn't your body, it's the world around it. You are a Stone Age brain wrapped in a Stone Age body trying to survive a world that moves at the speed of Wi-Fi. That doesn't mean the discomfort isn't real. It doesn't mean you should just accept endless anxious spirals as some noble evolutionary gift. What it means is something more useful. When the alarm goes off, you can now ask a different question. Not, why is something wrong with me, but what is my ancient alarm system reacting to, and does this actually require 10,000 years of urgency? Or can I let the alarm pass, the way my ancestors let a false rustle in the grass pass? Because that's the piece modern life forgot to teach you. Your ancestors didn't just have the alarm, they had the release, the run, the shout, the physical discharge that told the body, the danger is over, you can stand down now. Most modern stress never gets that release. You sit in the same chair at the same desk, absorbing the same alarm signals your ancestors would have burned off in a sprint across open ground. So maybe the goal was never to eliminate anxiety. Maybe the goal is to finish what it started. To let the ancient alarm ring, acknowledge it, and then give your body the release it was always designed to have. A walk. A deep breath held long enough to signal safety. A conversation that ends the isolation your brain fears most. Right now, somewhere in your chest, that low hum is still there. But it isn't broken. It's ancient. It's the same hum that once told a human ancestor to run from the grass, to stay close to the fire, to never wander too far from the group. It has been keeping people like you alive for 300,000 years. And it is still, in its strange and outdated way, trying to keep you alive today.